So we all want to worry less, right? It's not fun to be an anxious person or to find yourself in your head constantly worrying. So I want to give you a little bit of advice, something that helps me tremendously. And well, first of all, maybe it's best to start with what I don't do. You don't ignore it, just as you don't ignore a fire alarm. If you ignore a fire alarm, you're going to get burnt. And so, a lot of people love to distract themselves from their fears and their worries and just the whole idea of uncertainty in 2025. I mean, there's so many things where, like, even I was talking to my financial advisor yesterday, and he's like, well, you know, the stock market did well in the last couple of years, but we're sort of anticipating that, in 2025, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy road. And I don't know, like, I mean, I just feel like you can look at so many different things, and a lot of people fear AI, but like we could spend so much time worrying and worrying and worrying, but that's that's just going to lead us to this spiraling down of like into fear constantly. um so then, as I said, though, you don't just ignore it. You look at it, and you look it straight in the face, and you approach it head on. If this is the first time you're tuning into me, I'm a 56-year-old psychotherapist who helps people find more meaning in their lives and make sense of their lives. And I hope that if you continue to listen to me, you're going to find um, more meaning in your life and more purpose in your life. And you can't do that if you're in constant fear of your life. So, I'm going to start by saying something else that I feel somewhat a little bit resistant to say, and it's too bad, but I want to speak to you about religion a little bit. Now, please don't shut me off, because I think there's some sort of, you know, view of, like, whenever someone talks about themselves as being religious, or the whole topic of religion, people just think, you're a nutcase. So, like, even though most of us may think um, that, I'm, or you wouldn't view yourself as religious, I, or, in that sense, a lot of people don't see themselves as religious, I feel, because they don't actively practice any religion. So, in that sense, I think you're right. You probably aren't religious, because very few of us, I think, in sort of any sort of authentic, genuine way would say that we're not practicing our religion as much as we should be. So, yes, you are telling the truth. The other reason why most people don't communicate that they're religious, though, is because they fear that they are some sort of, like I said before, some sort of nutcase, and people view them like that. There's some sort of affiliation between religion and being irrational and delusional, because I think that a lot of people think, oh, you're one of those that place all your faith in God, and you're one of those people that pushes logic aside. Even yesterday, when we were having a conversation, like, and it was with my family, and even my brother alluded to it. Like, he was talking about how a lot of parents are losing, I guess, a lot of faith in our school systems, and what our children are being taught, and having any real control over what our children are being taught. and how, yeah, how some parents were actually saying, I'm thinking of homeschooling my kids. And he said, like, and they're not some religious, like, nutcase or something like that. And I thought, oh my God, here we go again. Just because you think that if you're going to homeschool, you must be like some sort of, I don't know, like, anyway, it's I think people affiliate religion, and being delusional, and someone who, like I said, pushes all reason aside, is irrational in itself. That's not the truth. And getting back to, who is religious and who isn't, I think you can make the argument that if you've ever said to yourself, oh God, please, or oh my God, or oh God, no. In other words, it's in those times of fear, excitement, joy, you have used God's name. So you are having a conversation with God, as far as I'm concerned. So the fact that you are conversing with God must mean you are religious. If you're if you converse with a family member, you must be part of a larger ethos of family. If you converse with a colleague, you must be part of an organization. You don't say, in those times of fear, anxiety, worry, joy, excitement, you don't say things like, oh, Venus, or oh, mountain, or oh, amoeba, because all of these creations are part of a larger creation. They're part of a universal intelligence or logic. Um, it's part of a greater law. If man did not create it, then who did? To me, that's science. So what does all of this have to do with anxiety and worry? Because that's why you tuned in, right? Well, it does all relate, because if you believe in a higher intelligence, if you believe in a creator of all things, science itself in all of its logical and intelligence in itself, then you do really think that God is going to somehow, like, no, okay, I should say this. You don't, if you believe in a higher intelligence, then, I mean, you you're not going to somehow think that this higher intelligence is going to screw this up, that God is making some sort of mistake. So, I mean, like, God is the truth and the light. And when his light shines from within us, we are our true selves. And we don't need to do or be anything else. So even though fear faces me just like everyone else, I trust not that God will only send me good things my way. In other words, I'm going to ignore all those fears. I instead, I trust that it is all in his divine plan, and he will support me every step of the way. So think of something now that, you're fearing in the coming days or weeks, or even in 2025, and realize, that it's all for naught. I mean, I think you've heard of the saying too, like, has any of the fears, any of my fears, or any of my worries, or any of my anxiety, the time I spend worrying, has it ever helped me in life? It's of no purpose. So instead, I'd rather you trust that when unforeseen, you know, fears manifest in your life, that it is all for a reason. It is all for a reason. And you just trust that you're going to have the support through it, and that you will get through it. And because of this higher intelligence that we all have access to, yeah. So that's my message to you, to all the clients that I've had in the past and I have in the future, that I hope this lessens some of your anxieties as you step into 2025. Just remember that, and enjoy what you have right now, because I know for a fact you have a lot to be very thankful for and grateful for. And I'd rather you concentrate on all that and remind yourselves that you got through all of your other hardships, and you will get through any other hardships that come your way. So thanks for watching, and I hope to have you subscribe to my channel and leave me any comments if I can help you. I definitely want to. Okay, take care till next time. Bye-bye.